Ready? Are you ready?
No, but I'll say something. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm Shay. Your turn.
Hi, I'm Shealyn. Shay likes to pretend her name is Shealyn, but
It's Shay Lynn. Take notice of the pause. Thank you very much.
I just imagine you riding your bike like the Wicked Witch of the West around. That's what Nino calls me. So you look like a witch, because I'll laugh like, and I do kind of have a witchy look, but I'm like,
do. Yeah. I have that picture of you with the witch nose. Makes sense.
He means my normal nose.
So let me ask you this: since you and I both love everything scary movies, what is the first scary movie you ever have seen? Like, how old were you? Tell me about it.
Funny you should say that, because I happen to be wearing the shirt.
No, this wasn't planned at all.
So I remember I was probably like, I want to say 6. Yeah. Was being watched by somebody who clearly wasn't paying attention. Watched it on, the original one. Obviously, I'm old. Yeah. It's not the new one. Yeah, and it was on like ABC or something. And I was watching it because the other kid that was being watched was like a bad seed, and so it was on TV, and I watched it, and I remember I was just so traumatized by the bloody scene of Beverly in the sink that I think the balloon fills up or it comes. I don't know. It's very bloody. And for a while, like I'd like look under faucets and stuff to see if like blood was gonna come out first. Like, and I couldn't even tell my mom because she didn't know I had seen it, because I probably would have gotten in trouble even though it wasn't my fault. But yeah. So I had this really scary, memory. Then I watched it as an adult and I'm like, seriously, I was scared of this movie. Very camp. It's very me. I love it. Clearly, I love the original Pennywise. Tim Curry rules.
I love him
in every role he does.
Yes, and I'm absolutely in love with Tim Curry.
Which Tim Curry, though? They say that's how you can judge a person, is which film they reference. So when you think of him, who do you think of?
There's a couple that immediately is It, and then Legend.
Oh, what Tim Curry?
Yeah, what movie do you think of with Tim Curry immediately?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, yes.
Obviously. That one I think of just because he's so like brilliant,
well, he's always like, brilliant.
Yeah, but I know, but it's like a weird thing that like I definitely was attracted to him when I was little. I mean, this is like when I also liked Marilyn Manson. So I went through a phase, like, looking back, I'm like, maybe I was a lesbian.
Off topic.
I don't know.
What was your weirdest celebrity crush?
Oh, John Candy. I loved him so much. When he died, this is how weird I was. I mean, I'm still weird, but my nana always had all the subscriptions to the tabloids, right? And there was one when he died, he was on the front of People magazine, and I used to pray that he would come back to life because I was like 9, so I didn't comprehend that, like, mortality, he's gone.
Right.
And I remember like being so upset, like, and I would pray. That's the weirdest thing because, normally he's not what you think of as like a heartthrob. I don't think.
It's okay. I was in love with Jeff Goldblum, so it's fine.
Of course you were. I could have called that one. Wait, which, like the Fly Jeff Goldblum or
Jurassic Park?
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
Oh my gosh, Ian Malcolm, like he's laying out. My mom didn't like him either. She's like, I'm like, oh, I like him. He's like trying to be sexy or
he's
something.
All laying out, no shirt.
He is. I don't know if he was actually supposed to be sexy.
I don't think so, but because he's not like ripped or anything.
I think he has muscle definition.
He has like a little bit, and he's just a thin dude. I don't know, but I was like madly in love with him. I was like, oh, he's my favorite. So now we'll talk about the movie, I guess.
You've seen it. You said you've seen the original one. How many times do you think?
I haven't memorized. 1,000,000 times.
1,000,000? Did you read the book?
You know what? I had it. I used to carry it around with me in high school, and I thought I read the book. Yes, I had a whole bunch of Stephen King books because that's where I would go to the thrift store and buy a bunch of them. And so I carried
them around.
Well, I carried them with me, and I read it, right? Or at least let's put it this way: I thought I read the book in all its entirety, until the reboot came out, and then everyone was all up in arms like about this specific scene, and I was like, "What are you talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about?" The orgy scene.
No, and I actually wait. With Beverly or with who?
With Beverly and then all the other kids. There's in the book, there's like an orgy scene or whatever. Like the first time they beat it, she feels that for them to be all connected, she has sex with everybody. But
what?
Yeah, or whatever.
My mind is blown.
I know. And so I read the book in high school. Okay, thought I read it in all its entirety. I also realized I also skimmed Stephen King books because it's just too much. So then when the reboot came out and I see all these people all up in arms about this scene or whatever in the book, and I was like, I read the book. I know I read the book. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And I had to go look it up. And I was like, what? I obviously did not read the book in all its entirety like I thought I did. I was pretty proud of that. It's a big ass book. But whatever.
Okay.
I still love Stephen King.
But wait, it's not in the reboot though, the scene.
No,
or
it's not. It's not.
Okay. I was gonna
people
say,
were like,
whoa.
"Oh, are you gonna put it in the movie?" I'm like, why would you put that in the movie? You weirdos.
Yeah, that's odd. That's a bit much. I mean, they replaced it with like cutting their hands to be blood brothers, right? Like it's that part of the.
I believe so.
Right.
But whatever. So I've seen the original miniseries like a bazillion times. I love that movie, and I love Tim Curry. I have to be honest. I just watched the chapter 1 and chapter 2, which is like the longest movies on the planet.
Yeah, I blame you.
Took me 2 days to do that. And I'm not gonna lie, Tim Curry is still scarier than Skarsgård. Like, I'm sorry, like hands down. If Tim Curry came at me and Skarsgård came at me, I'd be like, I'll run away.
Yeah, like I don't know. I definitely saw the reboot in the theater, and I must have been like drunk or something and fallen asleep, which sounds about right. But I rewatched them just for you, and yes, they're extremely long. So I was, kind of watching, and I think I liked the first one. Chapter 2, I feel like they tried really hard with the monsters, almost too hard, to where it wasn't scary. It was almost like comical to me. Like I don't know. I wasn't scared in the way that Tim Curry projected as anyway, like a fear, like kind of, I mean, it goes for a lot of movies back then. They didn't have to show everything happening for it to be in your mind. You could imagine how scary it was that somebody is in the drain, in the sewer or something. And then when his teeth get sharp, like, that was always the scariest part. And with the reboot, I don't know. I see where they were going with them.
Is it just me or like parts of the reboot when he would open his mouth, it was very like American Werewolf in London, like type of.
Yeah. Or at the end, doesn't he sound like a crying baby or whatever when he's in
something like that? Yeah, like when they
very odd.
They make him very small and then they crush his heart and he's like crying or whatever.
I didn't know if he was supposed to be a baby, and then that's scary in itself, but also like.
Well, the whole thing is like they're supposed to be able to stand up to their. I think I could be absolutely wrong and just reading everything incorrectly, which would be accurate. I feel like it was just more like these kids standing up for themselves finally, and then it kills their, insecurities or whatever. That's how I took into that.
You're right. I love the whole premise of them, right? It's all the losers. They get together, they find friendship, they find themselves, they find security. I really like the idea of the film because it's all the nerdy kids, there's the fat kid, there's the girl who's like, her dad's a piece of crap, all this, to put it lightly.
Right. She's like the rebel girl who smokes.
Yeah. And buys tampons. I'm glad they left that part out. And all the curves,
like, why would you put that in? Yeah. Come on now.
Because that's what people do. Like, a separate note with like Halloween or something. I love the originals, and then with the new ones, they put like rape and stuff in it. That I'm like, this could have not been done. Like, I am a fan of movies that you don't have to see literally like rape or something. It's the danger. It's that your imagination is what's actually scary, and that's why, like, with a lot of reboots, I get a little upset.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big Reboot
If they ever
fan.
do Jaws, I'm gonna like murder somebody.
I'm not a big Reboot fan. Like they have to really do a really good job for me to really like it. I feel like they always want to add more gore, more everything. And I'm like, it's not needed. Like this movie, I saw the second, I liked chapter 2. Now chapter 1 was good. I like part 2. There was a lot more comedy in chapter 2, I felt. Even with them making the comments over and over again about how Bill's book, the ending sucked.
Yeah, I like that. Where
I did
Stephen
feel
King's
that,
in the store.
yes, I feel like that was a nod to him, where people repeatedly criticized how the ending sucks. Yeah.
You know he well, obviously he wrote that line, and then you know he loved saying it too.
Yes.
I could just never stop staring at him. I don't know. Something about him is so fascinating. Like his face doesn't move, even if he's talking. You know, like he's just so stoic almost, or whatever it's called.
No, I do always get a kick when I see him in his movies.
That's what I would do. I would always have a cameo in my own movies.
Yeah. But he's not in that many of them, but he's in a good amount. But I get a big kick when I see him in there. I'm like, look at him.
Like, do you know who that is? That's you in the theater. You know who that is? And everyone's like, everybody knows who that is. But thanks, Mom. Thanks for pointing that out.
You don't know. You don't know.
I know. I've been to a movie with you. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to think. I know we have, but I'm trying to think of like the last movie we saw.
Oh,
we were always
Harry
working
Potter.
Together.
It was Harry Potter.
The midnight showing.
Yeah.
The midnight one.
Back to it. So then which one is your favorite then? So you're still partial to the original, to the miniseries?
Oh, for sure. I would pick the original hands down. One, because it has that shitty TV movie feel that I love so much. Like it feels warm, feels low budget, that I don't know. Something about it puts me at ease. I know that sounds strange.
No, it does me too. Like it's so nostalgic that you're just staring at it going, I can watch this. I could just have it on in the background. There's screaming, there's Tim Curry being creepy, and you're just like, this is totally good. I feel very comfortable right now. I could take a nap.
Yeah, I've definitely snapped to that movie. Yeah, I mean, which one are you gonna pick? I think I know.
Well, I'm gonna pick obviously the miniseries original. It has nostalgic feels for me for also who's in it. You know, like Harry Anderson and John Ritter, and it's just like, and then obviously Tim Curry, who I adore. What was your favorite scene? What was your favorite scene in it?
Oh, that's tough. The orgy one. No, I'm just kidding. I can't get that out of my head. That is so weird. And
look it up. Stephen King is a weirdo.
Gosh.
What do you want?
I don't want to look it up though, because then I'm gonna like hate people who are ready. But
You mean Stephen King? I don't.
You tell me your favorite one while I think, but I'll also be listening to theory.
I have mine are mostly from the original. I mean, this one had some fun, things, but the original, there's like the little, like the scenes that don't have anything to do with the main characters really, like Georgie's scene at the very beginning, or when we go 25 years later or 27 years later in the original, there's a scene of a mom putting up sheets in the backyard, like hanging them up to dry. That scene scares the shit out of me. And in nothing, like other than the girl disappears, like nothing happens. Like you don't see anything, but something is going on. It got her. Pennywise got her. And so that scene has just scarred me. Like I see it in my head right now, and I'm like,
you look scared.
Okay, is it me? Or like we think about the nostalgic of it from before, and then we see it now. They're supposed to be the same age, right? Is it me, or does the nostalgic one, everyone does look like they're old?
I was gonna say, so with the miniseries, and the lady is saying to Stan before he kills himself, like, oh, they just called to see if we were gonna make them a grandma, and I'm like, you are a grandma, like what? That lady's like no offense, I don't have kids either. I'm 35, but she is at least 45 in that. I'm like, lady, you're pushing it. Like, it's gonna be really hard. They call it geriatric at that point. Like, that's a weird
they call
thing.
it geriatric at our age, whatever.
Yeah, no, I think it's after 40. I only know that because Chloe Sevigny or whatever, that actress, she got pregnant, I think, with her first one at 42, and she's like, oh my gosh, they're calling me a geriatric pregnancy. Like, wow, way to rub it in my face. Like,
I know.
But no, when they said it, I'm like, and that guy's 50. Like, what is happening? I also, though, I feel like in all old movies, everyone looks
older, like old.
Yeah.
Which is so
That's
weird.
why I always thought I was going to look that old. Like, you're watching Scream and I'm like, oh, I'm going to look like that when I'm in high school. No, I looked like 13 in the whole time.
Everyone, they're 50 years old, but they're like, I'm playing a 30-year-old. It's fine. With my
now it's changed
handlebar
because
mustache.
kids play kids. Like, look at Stranger Things, or the kid who's in it. He is like the age he's playing. So back in our day, it was only like Kevin was playing Home Alone. Speaking of another Tim Curry, you can say Home Alone too. But yes, favorite scene. Okay, this is what just popped into my head as I was watching it right now, because Beverly's upbringing and everything was rough. Clearly, her dad was molesting her.
Right, which I think they showed more of in the original than they did in this one. This one was kind of like he's just a creepy dad.
I mean, they allude to it enough, and I think it's such a. I was watching like Eli Roth talk about whenever you include rape or molestation or something, it's like you can't make it look like you're trying to make it sexy or something. So it's a real thin line of like, it's better to just allude to it and not show it, because then you'll get some creeps watching it to get off. So I think that's why in the newer one they brush over that a little bit. I mean, it's still creepy. Wasn't he like spraying her with the mom's perfume and like holding her? I mean, ew. And when I was watching the miniseries right now, I was like, whoa, I'm so glad like she flips out on that guy in the beginning, because she's dating another like controlling dickhead like her dad, which usually you fall into, unfortunately sometimes that'll happen, but she stands up for herself and she's like, I forget what she said. She's like, you ever do that again, I'll fucking kill you. And the way she said it, I was like, damn, like I was really proud of her for that. Like, I've definitely said that to somebody before in that manner, and it feels really good. That's just my life. But I didn't kill them. If the FBI is listening, I did not.
I don't think that she killed him either. Did she?
No. Well, no, but she was saying, because he's such a dick, and trying to tell her she couldn't even answer the phone. Like, that guy was a butthole. Oh, so at least she stood up for herself. And oh my gosh, that's what I meant to say. In the new one, Ben is so hot.
Right?
Like, I guess like, wow, he does look like the chubby kid. Look, that they pulled the Jerry McConnell like from Stand By Me. The fat kid ends up super hot. Well,
what I thought they did really well with this cast was, you can, like, when they do Stan in the older Stan, I feel bad for that actor. Like, he's only in it for like 5 minutes, but it's fine. I know it's like, you're gonna die pretty quick. It's fine. Yeah. But so he's in the movie really quickly, and then he when they show the back and forth of the time, it's like, wow, you really do look like that kid.
Yeah, it was easy to
we're just gonna say who he is, but you're like, oh,
yeah, because sometimes it's such a stretch that you're like, I mean, in the first one they just put that big mole to make you like, no, it was Bill.
That's a Bill.
It's like, we get it. Okay. I mean, maybe the actor really has that. He probably does. I think the older one
original does, yes. And then they give it to Jonathan Brandis.
Not the kid and the older guy.
Right.
But but I mean, parallels like that, clearly that's the same guy. But I feel like even with the new one, Ben, like the younger, chubbier kid looked like the old, like the eyes
like,
were
you can see it in the eyes and parts of the face, and I'm like, wow, you do look like that could be you.
Yeah.
It does look like that could be you.
You're really hot now. I was like Googling photos of him like a creep, and I'm like, I needed to stop. I want you to guess where I got this shirt.
You want me to guess?
My favorite store.
Hot Topic?
Walmart.
Oh, like, was it Hot Topic?
No, and I got it for Nino for Christmas as I was there, and also Tro, and he's like, "No, you bought this for yourself. I just buy everything in a large so we can both wear it." I know he won't, but
he won't wear that.
I wanted it. He should. He actually had bought me an It shirt a couple years ago, but it was a new one, and I don't know what, like how you were saying, something about him isn't scary. Like maybe I can think of the dude in real life is like cute, so I don't I don't find him that, threatening.
And I was so bothered every single time that dude talked as Pennywise, he just drooled. Like that's all you like. That's not scary. It's gross, but it's not scary. Yeah. Stop drooling. Like that's not.
I think it was the outfit too for me. I think I don't know. Was not into it.
Well, I don't know, and I think that they inflated his head, or unless he's got a massive cranium, I don't know. But his head was huge.
Yeah, it wasn't scared.
And I was like, this is not scary. Tim Curry scary.
Tim Curry probably he was in like a basic clown costume. He's still scarier.
Yes, he was in a big
sharp teeth.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a big mouth of teeth or whatever, but it was just like. Well, I think his mouth in general, because it's just frightening. Just the way he says things. His lips do this weird curling thing, like.
Yeah, I'm thinking specifically like Rocky Horror, where he's like, he does almost like Elvis. Join us next time on Shea Scare Lounge. But before that, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and what else, Shay? Go.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Ring the little bell so you can get notifications when we post a new video.
Yay!
We will see you later with another movie.
Are the bangs attached to the hat, or is
Actually, yes.